back. Part 3, the final one in the series. Let's not mess around. Let's get straight into it. Let's show some records. So we're going to go with Look Blue, Go Purple, who are an all-female band from Dunedin. They released 3 EPs. This is the first one. All 3 EPs were released as a reissue on Captured Tracks a couple of years ago. Yeah, that's a great way to hear all these really catchy, fun, jangly stuff. A little bit psychedelic in parts. Yeah, really good. So that's Look Blue, Go Purple. The Verlaine's Hallelujah All the Way Home. This is probably one of the more famous ones. Yeah, happy to have that one. This is one of the early. I think this is their first EP. 10 o'clock in the afternoon by the Verlaine's. Very cool. This is a band I was talking about in the earlier video, Belter Space. This is it's not their first, but it's quite early on, as they're transitioning from, I guess, and they sound a little bit new wavy in parts. It's not one of my favorite ones. This is a really good one. Belter Space, Nelsh Belter Space. This is a 12-inch EP. Quite hard to find. This is my favorite. It sounds very 90s and of its time. This is Whammo, but there's some corker tracks on here. And it's very cool to hear them play some of this stuff live last year. And Belter Space Tanker. This is a monster, this record. Yeah, featuring Hamish Kilgore of The Clean. Yeah, really cool. This is a good one. This is not a New Zealand artist, but it was pressed on Flying Nun. This is the Fall in a Hole. It was a live recording. I'm not going to go into the story too much, but basically it was a sort of unauthorized live recording of The Fall, that The Fall ended up asking all copies to be destroyed because they weren't happy, or it was recorded without permission properly. So yeah, it's quite hard to get a hold of these days. The first disc is a 33 and the second is a 45. Yeah, it's really great. A bit of a nice pun on falling in a hole. They're playing in a hole in terms of just being at the bottom of New Zealand. Yeah, happy fall guitarist. It's kind of funny. And this is in the top 5 of my favorite Flying Nun releases. And that's not including stuff I don't have on vinyl, but just and then the entire discography. I mean, I'm not going to say I've heard everything, but this is an absolutely wonderful record and completely underrated. I would like to get an original of this. That's probably up there on my, close to top of the want lists. Yeah. Weird experimental soundscapes, quite abstract textures, and yeah, it's really wonderful, very unique. If you know this, you know this. It's definitely worth checking out. Really killer record here. This is pull it out for you. This is Snapper. This is the Snapper EP. Absolutely wonderful. I've played this before in previous videos. I can't be bothered describing it. It's sort of like electronic-y, krautrock, surfy, post-punk, all in one. Yeah, really killer record. The track Buddy, the first track, is one that you should definitely hear. I love this record. It's really cool. Double Happy's Cut It Out. This is Shane Carter's early band. This is their EP, Cut It Out. Inside there's actually these, you can cut out the band members. There's a little cartoon drawing of the band members. You can put different clothes on them and stuff. Yeah. Contains the tracks Some Fantasy and Needles and Plastic. That are really, really big favourite tracks of mine. Straight Jacket Fits, Life in One Chord. I did have the Hail record, and I also had Melt, but I just never really went for them, and I didn't really connect with them. But for me, this is the EP that you need. It's got Darling a Prayer, All That She Brings, Sparkle That Shines, and She Speeds. For me, those tracks are absolutely wonderful. So this is one I've kept with, and it's got really cool, strange artwork on there. Yeah, Life in One Chord. The Bird Nest Roys. I sort of put this album in a kind of a similar vein of the Abel Tasmans. It sort of has a really 60s jangly almost like psychedelic sound to it, I suppose. Real mix of jangle pop and I guess these sort of like 60s organs and stuff. Really cool. This is a later release from a few years ago. I'm not sure if the camera will even pick up what this is, but this is Aldous Harding's release Party, which is on Flying Nun /4AD. This is actually the New Zealand pressing, so it's on Flying Nun. Really amazing, beautiful, weird vocalist. It took me a while to get into it, and when it clicked, it really clicked, and I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite releases of 2017. Absolutely fantastic. Another one on Flying Nun, but not a Flying Nun band. This is Sonic Youth. This is Sister. Very cool. I'm not going to talk about the music because this is a classic record. There was some issue with later versions having the Disneyland image taken out, I think. So this is, being a New Zealand pressing, they left it in, which apparently makes it more desirable because there's a photo in there. This is a record that no one talks about, and I think it's a freaking amazing record. This is the Renderer's Trail of Tears. Sort of like Southern Gothic, dark Gothic, country. It's like a country Americana dark thing from like the mid 80s. I think it's really wonderful. 1990, there we go. But no one really seems to rate this. I don't know if it's not a cool record, but I think this is absolutely fantastic. I listen to it quite a lot. Really, really wonderful. Trail of Tears. Another later release. This is fuck is it called? Perfect Body. Jesus. By Mermaidens, local Newtown band. They just practice up the road here. Really great, tight, post-punky sounds. They've got a really good groove and section to them. I saw them play just last weekend. I've seen them play a few times here now. Wonderful. I really rate this band. I'm looking forward to their new album coming out soon. This is a very shambolic record. It's super shambolic, and that's probably the best way to describe it. The recording is terrible. The music is so loose and scrappy, super DIY. It sounds like crap, but it's kind of fun. It's a very fun record. Sort of a little bit unmemorable, but also it's very hard to describe it. If you know the Axemen, this is kind of fun, very ramshackle, I suppose is a way to put it. The artwork is kind of a big draw card, I reckon. It's just super cool, a bit of a mess. The album's called Three Visions. Was it Three Virgins, Three Versions, Three Visions? Yeah. I have to say I don't listen to that very often, but when I do, I enjoy it. But I can't. It's one of those things that's very hard to put a grasp on. This is something that's very hard to find these days that I picked up at that weird estate sale last year. Ballon Desai Grow Up EP. Really good early post-punk. This is quite early in the Flying Nun catalogue. They released 2 EPs, and the other one was there, and I didn't realise what it was at the time. And I just grabbed this because I recognised the name. I should have bought the other one. It was $10. When you look at what it goes for on the internet, it's 12 times that amount. So yeah. Anyway, this is cool. This is really nice post-punk record. This was a big want list item for me that I managed to get for sort of half the price of what it goes for online. The Great Unwashed, Clean Out of Our Minds. I guess this is sort of the side project of the Clean. This one is less focused on loud buzzing guitars and a bit more acoustic and smaller. It's a really great record though. It's a little bit psychedelic in a way. I guess that's the way to describe it. It's very hard. A really wonderful album. I'm going to actually play this when I've finished making this video, I think. Go over here. The Clean, this is the Sounds Good. It's got a really long name, which is Great Sounds Great, Good Sounds Good, So Sounds So, Bad Sounds Bad, Rotten Sounds Bad. Rotten is the name of the EP. This is killer. Fish, I'm not going to... All of it's great. I really like the song End of My Dream. And they're all really good. Slug Song. I love this EP. It's a real classic record. And it took me a long time to get a copy. But I did, eventually. Moving into experimental, noisy rock stuff. This is the Dead Sea's User Kills. I am pretty sure this is their only album they released on Flying Nun. Oh no, well they released a couple of 7 inches. They released 2. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This may be their third on Flying Nun. I think they released a 7-inch and a 12-inch, and this on Flying Nun before they went off and did their own releases with Expressway. That's a whole other video. Would be Expressway Records, another favorite label of mine. Yeah, the User Kills are really good. I think the track on here, is it on here? I thought it was. I thought Bad Politics was on here, but it's not on here. Anyway, yeah, great. This is From Scratch, Pacific 3210. This is a record that Christian Mizu, Siren 05, a long time ago switched me onto. I'd never heard of it before. It's a really experimental, almost modern classical record. I talked about this recently because I finally got a upgrade copy. Yeah, a really experimental, textured record. Yeah, really beautiful. Really cool. Alright, this is a good old compilation of Flying Nun stuff. Always good to check. If you see this cheap, it's not very expensive. You can still pick this up at a normal price, I think. Of the early stuff, there's an early comp called Tuatara. Tuatara is, of course, a lizard that we have. Well, I guess it's like a very ancient lizard, native to New Zealand. Yeah, good. It's very good. Back to the Pin Group. This is the reissue of the Go to Town EP. Look at that artwork. Isn't that wonderful? And then the back. Where did he come from? I think this is on red vinyl. Superior Viaduct from a few years ago. This is quite hard to find these days. This is another disc, another $1 by the Stones. I was really happy to find this when I was in Dunedin a few years ago. Yeah. We're almost at the end now. I'm actually going down to Dunedin next weekend for a sort of an experimental noise festival, where I'm hoping to catch up with the other 2 VC members from New Zealand that make videos, Chris Walker and Rodney. So we're going to be going down there, and there's a whole bunch of amazing New Zealand artists playing. Members of the Dead Sea, Roy Montgomery, who some people may know of. Yeah, it's. I mean, it comes around every 2 years, and I missed the last one, so this has been a long time coming. So I'm very excited to do that and go for a dig. I'm not expecting to find too many New Zealand records, or if they do, they'll be priced up. We'll see how we go. Quietly, I'm not even optimistic, but quietly, that would be nice. This is Board Games, Who Killed Colonel Mustard, and really great. This is more punk than anything else. I just had a thought, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, board games, really good. There's a really cool checkerboard thing on the back here, where you can play a little game. That is also Shane Carter's early band. Sneaky Feelings, Send You. This is a really early. It's not early, is it? Well, maybe less. What's the year on this? 82, 83? Yeah. Sneaky Feelings. All right. Last one. This Kind of Punishment. This was a big grail for mine over a long time, and I finally found it. Amazing. You guys would have seen this all got reissued by Superior Viaduct last year. This is the original pressing. It's probably the crown jewel of the New Zealand Flying Nun collection. Absolutely wonderful. All right, that was everything. What are we on now? 14 minutes. That was pretty good. Done. All right, that was the end. We finally got there. So that's the bulk of the Flying Nun collection. There's still quite a lot more I'd like to get. Again, I said in the previous video, I'm not aiming to collect the whole label. There's a lot of things that I don't want, or things that I don't think are very good. A lot of things I think are very overrated. So these are all things that I really like, and I really rate them all. They're all. I've been through this collection quite a few times over the past few years and really pulled out and sold things I don't want. This is a very curated collection, so I think everything I've shown is completely worthy of having. So please check those out. If anything, you may recognize some of the covers next time you're out in record stores, and there may be a spark for you to check them out. You never know what people will find overseas. A lot of this stuff it's kind of sad because the stuff is very desirable overseas. And I was talking to a friend, a lot of overseas collectors can come in and swoop the stuff and take it away, and then look online and they go for crazy amounts of money. And it's kind of sad because this New Zealand music was made, for people. I guess music's made for everybody, but the people of New Zealand, the culture of it was very DIY, and the spirit was everybody can get this music cheaply. And it's just, it's been taken away and sold for lots of money online, which, I'm obviously not helping. I'm not helping by making these videos and talking them up. But yeah, a lot of these records that used to be everywhere, 10, 15 years ago, are now just being swooped, and the prices are going up and up and up and up and up. And it's a bit out of control. Anyway, on that sad note, I'm going to finish the video. I do plan to make a recent vinyl finds. I've got a stack of stuff that I need to get around to showing. I just need to get in the mood where I can really talk about what I've picked up. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. As you do, my numbers are starting to sort of tick over a bit now. I think I'm over 1.5k, which is amazing, really. Really, really cool. All right. Also, just if you're still listening, please let me know how the new microphone sounds. Am I too loud or too quiet? Is it too, I don't know, too detailed? I'm not really sure. I'm just sort of winging this as I go. But yeah, please let me know. All right. See you guys later. Thank you so much. Cheers.